The trend continues for WWE not keeping a pay-per-view in June for more than 1 year. The Bash, Fatal 4-Way, Capital Punishment, No Way Out, Battleground, Payback, Extreme Rules, Money in the Bank, Stomping Grounds, Backlash, and now Hell in a Cell have all occupied the June slot since 2009. I swear that month for pay-per-views is more cursed than the Defense Against the Dark Arts job at Hogwarts. See you next year for something completely different. Also, I don't get this. Why did WWE move the Hell in a Cell event all the way to frickin' June after 11 years in the October slot? It's bad enough that this pay-per-view exists at all. Also, I'm adding in 7 more Sins. The reason I picked 7 is because that's how many Hell in a Cell matches we have seen within an 8-month period in WWE. The 3 from October 2020, and the 4 that happened in a literal 4-day period this month. I remember when it would have taken 7 to 8 years before we saw 7 Hell in a Cell matches.
Good evening, all you Hellraisers.
I'm already interested in this reference that sounds far more entertaining than what we are watching right now.
You already know who I am.
Actually, we don't, which begs the next question, who the hell are you? I may be annoyed that we are dealing with yet another Hell in a Cell pay-per-view 8 months after the previous edition, but I'd be damned if I didn't remove a sin for the legendary Ozzy Osbourne. Great theme song. There's literal pyrotechnics that explode from inside the cage now? Surprised that thing didn't collapse immediately from all that. Also, the pyrotechnicians are dicks to the commentators by blowing up their flames all around them, potentially threatening their lives in the process.
It is 20 feet high!
Yeah, we know everything about Hell in a Cell, Michael. We literally saw a cell match take place 2 nights ago. All due respect to the Bianca Belair and Bayley fans out there, this is the only time where a women's Hell in a Cell match feels like it's taken place simply because they're women. The feud between these 2 wrestlers say absolutely nothing about the structure. The feud is supposed to be extremely personal to the point of violent action. This is not that. Also, what are the odds that WWE made this match a Hell in a Cell match just so Sasha Banks wouldn't be the only female able to compete in every women's cell match?
I challenge you!
This is so wrong. By this point, Bayley is not even a challenger for the SmackDown Women's Championship, given Bianca is the one doing all the challenging. It's supposed to be the other way around. Not starting off too well here. Laughing. So much laughing.
I want you inside Hell in a Cell.
That was the most casual and cheerful I want to fight you inside Hell in a Cell I have ever heard of. Whatever happened to the days of, we're gonna settle this inside Hell in a Cell? See? How difficult is it to say the phrase like that?
Because there are no disqualifications.
Well, never mind.
Mania win the championship there.
This is a huge facepalm moment. Bianca Belair is not even taking Hell in a Cell seriously the way she happily skips into the cage. This is supposed to be Satan's structure, where nobody will ever be the same again. Bianca Belair is killing the relevancy of the structure just by the way she enters, and I'm severely ashamed of WWE. Smallest SmackDown women's title I have ever seen. Even the one Alexa Bliss was wearing around her waist was bigger than that. What is it with wrestling companies making their women's titles so tiny? We are up Hell in a Cell 2021 to bring you Avengers The Infinity War when Thor and Star-Lord had their little mocking game.
Remember, perfectly legal.
Bayley, knowing Bianca Belair is still relatively fresh in the match, grabs a chair from under the ring and then slides it toward her opponent. We're not even 1 minute into the match and she's already asking to lose it. Damn, I feel this is going to be a sinful match.
Bianca.
Well, so much for being the fastest, right, Bianca? Bayley actually thought this was gonna work, slowly getting into position to whack Bianca with a chair, and then speeding up with the obvious thing she was gonna do. Looks like I'm gonna be the one laughing tonight.
Great as a weapon.
You know what? Here's 5 more Sins. Bayley should really not swing chairs if she has constant trouble using them with power.
The Royal Rumble as well, and look at Are you kidding?
Pat McAfee is shocked that Bianca Belair can do that, even though literally everybody knew she could do that.
Oh, there's... Doesn't matter.
Bayley had Bianca grounded and tortured with a joint manipulation hold, but instead chooses to slap Bianca on the head, figuring that would do more damage. If I were Bayley, I'd stick to continuing the torture. If you're inside Hell in a Cell, make it a torturous match. Fuck! Bayley's offense is mostly struggling to get weapons into the ring, as we see here with the steel stairs. Creative on the part of Bayley to tie up Bianca's braid of hair on the ropes, but what she should have done to make this more intense is put Bianca's braid through the cage and then tie it up on the cage, thus trapping Bianca and giving Bayley a chance to cause pain and torture. Why didn't they let me write this fucking match? I got great ideas! I'd be cringing in pain if I didn't clearly see Bianca's hand protecting Bayley's face, so instead I'm cringing in embarrassment.
Metal scrape jaw.
Biting. After failing miserably the first time, Bayley once again uses her Star Wars skills and creates a Darth Maul kendo stick lightsaber. Look at that, they actually put the SmackDown Women's Championship underneath the ring before the match started. Better hope Hornswoggle doesn't steal it. For someone who is the EST of pretty much everything, Bianca Belair is having a lot of trouble lifting up that chair. So much for being the strongest, right, Bianca? No one cares what's trending, although I'm slightly caring for it more than this actual match going on right now. This is weird territory for me.
Tied herself to Bayley.
After seeing this, I wouldn't be surprised if Bianca's braid will be used as a substitute for a leather strap if she ever competes in a future strap match. Technically, Bayley surrendered the match by telling the referee that she's done. A surrender qualifies as a submission, so why aren't we ringing the bell and awarding Bianca the match? Terrible as this match was, at least it ended with an awesome KOD on the ladder, and the best part about this match is that it's over.
To join me tonight in hell. In a cell.
No disrespect, but Alexa Bliss is not even competing inside Hell in a Cell, so how can any of us join her inside the cell if she's not even going to be in it?
Opportunities that he did not earn.
Seth Rollins claims that Cesaro did not earn a Universal Championship match against Roman Reigns at WrestleMania Backlash, even despite the fact that Cesaro literally earned that match by competing for a shot to challenge Roman.
32. Oh my God!
Pre-match assault.
This match hasn't even started yet.
Something we could all easily figure out just by the fact that we haven't heard the bell ring to begin said match.
Said the rain delay at WrestleMania cost him the match.
First off, it was a lightning delay that caused WrestleMania to hold off for half an hour. Rain during the show was no problem whatsoever. Don't know why they keep saying it was the rain. Secondly, damn, Seth Rollins really dropped down big time from everything he stood for in the last 5 to 6 years. Blaming rain on your loss, especially when it wasn't even raining during your match, is just lousy.
Cost him many days of his career.
Normally, the commentators state that a wrestler lost weeks or months of their career because of an attack. But since Cesaro wasn't exactly gone that long, Michael Cole had to resort to saying Cesaro lost many days of his career. We're still not back to touring with crowds yet, so the wrestlers obviously wrestle once or twice a week.
Cover on Rollins, who kicks.
That was the most lazy pinfall attempt and kick out ever. It's like Seth was extremely tired and merely said, "Hey, get off of me, dude, I'm trying to sleep here."
Show stealer, show stopper.
What's going on here? Normally when the spotlights flash like that, the cage is descending for a Hell in a Cell match. For a moment, I thought somebody tampered with the cage and begun the descending process, then realized this was just WWE's lazy way of saying, "Hey look, there's a cage above the ring. Remember when you saw it like 10 minutes ago? Look at it instead of the match!"
Right now.
Seth, are you sure you want to be injuring people's eyes again? You literally threw up at ringside after doing that the first time.
Look at that.
Rumors circulated after this match that Seth Rollins ended up having a craving for sweaty gloves and made that part of his diet.
Put a glove on when you're sweating. No, he kicked.
Sure, we totally have time for a little game of hacky sack, Cesaro. It's not like this guy we were facing was dominating the first 10 minutes of this match or anything. My god, even though there are only 2 Hell in a Cell matches tonight, they're really overdoing it by showing the cage Lord knows how many times in matches not needed for it. Commentator stupidly refers to a roll-up as stealing the victory cliche. Seth didn't steal the match. If anything, that was the right move. He's been on the receiving end of countless swings by Cesaro. It makes sense that he wins by finding a way to counter the swing. Skip the damn pre-show panel.
Behind Reginald's accidents.
Even though it was obviously Alexa Bliss who caused the flames and pyro to explode when Reginald was around, how awesome would it have been if all this time it was revealed that Alexa was simply working for Kane, who caused all the explosions to let everybody know he's still around despite retirement. Also, since when did Shayna Baszler ever give a shit about what happens to Reginald? As far as I remember, she barely tolerated him at all, much less cared for his safety.
Lily, I'm sorry.
This match exists because of a discount Annabelle doll, and while Shayna Baszler played her part well, it still feels wrong, if you get what I mean. And because Shayna Baszler kicked that mirror, her next 7 years in WWE will be filled with failure after failure after failure due to the bad luck. Then again, she didn't need to kick a mirror for that to happen. Why the hell is Reginald still around? Like, wasn't this guy just supposed to be an assistant for Carmella? What the fuck is going on with this anymore?
Do you think I care at all what that lunatic has to say?
Victim isn't scared of the supernatural being, which causes their own death in a horror movie cliche. Oh wait, this is WWE. Sorry, it's just way too similar to that. Sadly enough, hearing that theme song almost 2 months later is going to make everyone sad and cry out in rage at the WWE. While yes, that does look pretty creepy, let's be honest, even I can do that. Hell, I did that last night. It's actually really good exercise to stretch your legs. Also, this 7-minute match is mostly this creepy thing and that creepy thing. Here a sin, there a sin, everywhere a sin. Apparently dealing with Shayna Baszler is not good enough for Alexa Bliss. Let's start bullying Reginald because fuck you. Man, I miss Bray Wyatt. For a sad reason, this immune to pain shtick doesn't seem to work if anyone but The Fiend is doing it. Sorry, Alexa. Okay, that was actually funny. As bad as this match is and how overboard WWE is going with Alexa Bliss being this supernatural demon, that was awesome seeing Nia Jax being hypnotized into slapping Reginald. While Alexa is at it, can she hypnotize Vince McMahon into signing Triple H as the head of WWE Creative? Double A!
I kicked the soul out of a scumbag.
Man, we gotta give Pat McAfee credit. He is one of the best commentators of the last number of years. He's severely entertaining with Michael Cole, and it's so hilarious.
Sammy!
Discount Shawn Michaels. I bet Sami Zayn is gonna get mad because the pyrotechnicians didn't activate Shawn's pyro when he praised the Lord like that. Previously on WWE.
Karma's a beautiful thing.
Yes, indeed she is. Oh shit! You weren't talking about the. You were talking about the. Yeah, never mind. Sorry.
Again, you take a look earlier on, but
The fuck kind of Atlanta was that supposed to be?
Sami Zayn launching himself.
Wow, this is Hell in a Cell.
While yes, this pay-per-view is called Hell in a Cell, bringing up the name as if Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are literally competing inside the cage makes that line sound awkward. Sami hits a move. This is Hell in a Cell. Yes, but technically no.
Kevin maybe.
Gotta admire the determination on the part of Kevin Owens. In so much pain, having trouble breathing, but still determined to kick Sami Zayn right in the ass. Must tap that ass by any means necessary.
Thunderbomb!
The referee doesn't even notice that Kevin's right shoulder was off the canvas before the pinfall even began. Sucks when referees are always so unobservant in wrestling.
Zayn's got some blood.
Kevin went for the stop from out of nowhere!
No disrespect, Michael Cole, but that stunner from Kevin Owens was anything but out of nowhere. Wasn't like he suddenly sprung up and hit it like Randy Orton does the RKO.
On a running knee right to the head. Hello the kick! Zayn with the win!
I give Kevin Owens props for selling Commander Aziz's Nigerian nail throughout this match. Shows how devastating the move is, and Kevin knows that wrestlers are supposed to sell injuries properly and not pretend they got rejuvenated because of plot convenience. Roman Reigns versus Rey Mysterio. The match, heavily hyped to be the main event of tonight's pay-per-view, has been reduced to a simple 5-minute recap of last Friday on SmackDown. And you know, to this day, I still don't get why that happened. Also about 7 to 8 minutes of commercials and recasts before we move on to the next match of the card. Doing that makes me feel like we're just watching Monday Night Raw with a shitload of commercial breaks.
Riptide! Riptide!
Yep, you heard that correctly. They not only showed Rhea Ripley connecting the Riptide on a repeated loop, but you also heard Riptide on a repeated loop.
I should be given a one-on-one match. I was not pinned.
With each passing year, Charlotte Flair's logic continues to get worse and worse. Like, what the hell? Sure, you didn't get pinned in that triple threat at WrestleMania Backlash, but you still lost the match! Here are 3 added sins. This match currently exists for reasons outside of logic.
Hell in a Cell is presented by the...
Aw man, we were so close to getting through the night without me having to say skip to a pre-match advertisement. But alas, we shall skip indeed.
Matter of moments. Wait.
It's a pre-match assault, but honestly, it's also a smart move on the part of Charlotte Flair to use the title belt against Rhea Ripley before the match begins. That way, anything goes before the bell rings. I'd remove a sin, but I'm still frustrated at the story's lack of logic, so you know what comes next. Charlotte Flair may be given lessons to her opponent on how to hang with her in the ring, but I truthfully believe Charlotte is the one who needs to take lessons on how to have a successful title reign given her bad reputation. Even from the switching camera angle, you could clearly see that Rhea Ripley's big boot hardly grazed Charlotte Flair's shoulder, making the impact of being kicked to the ground look pretty bad.
Top, but not for 3.
Charlotte could barely keep Rhea down for a 2 count, so she figures pinning her several more times will do the trick. I'm just saying, 3 1 counts doesn't qualify as a full 3 count.
Within the referee's allotted count of 5.
You can't be serious, right? Charlotte Flair was watching Rhea Ripley the entire time and somehow did not see that baseball slide coming, even before Rhea started moving?
Champion!
Charlotte, in her attempt to cheat with her feet on the ropes, ended up getting off the pinfall as a result of trying to plant her feet on the ropes because she was too far away. Not gonna lie, that was pretty bad to see. Cool as that counter was, I'd say Charlotte should take additional lessons from her fiancé in order to perfect that move in a better way.
She's a professional shark tonight.
Apparently there's such a thing as a professional shark, which makes me wonder how that works in the world of sharks. I presume a great white shark is also a professional shark, meanwhile random hammerhead is a rookie shark.
Riptide! What's the near leg?
Wrestler hits their finisher close to the edge of the ring, then proceeds to hook the inside leg to allow their opponent to break the count on the ropes cliche.
Fucking Ripley! Oh!
Apparently, kicking the stairs and missing Rhea's leg completely was somehow enough to increase the pain in said leg. Many would disagree, but honestly, I liked how this was executed. Rhea Ripley had an injured leg, was prone to the figure 4 leg lock, knew she was done for, and in a moment of panic, she got herself disqualified. It's irritating when we see disqualifications in title matches, but at least this one was done because of panic instead of some random interference. And of course, post-match assault. Can we just move on to the main event already? That would be nice right about now. 3 championship matches in a row against Bobby Lashley for Drew McIntyre. Truthfully, after losing at WrestleMania and WrestleMania Backlash, he should have been done with Bobby, but we needed another Hell in a Cell match and somehow did not need the Tribal Chief involved with the show. Damn, Drew McIntyre spent a lot of time standing on the stage, waiting for the right moment in his music to plunge the sword, only to miss his cue and hit it completely off sync to the right moment. Boy, that's gotta suck for him. The CGI graphics are a dick to the fans watching at home by getting in the way of the WWE Champion Bobby Lashley. Come on! Move! I'm trying to watch the show! Completely forgetting that they still have to get the WWE Championship out of the cage, the referee instantly locks the door. Considering the graphics showcase the Universal Championship as the SmackDown Universal Championship, I'm surprised this doesn't say the Raw WWE Championship. Truthfully, I think Bobby Lashley is just trying to see how long he can stand there with his index finger pointing to the sky before his hand falls asleep.
Stoicism on the
Bobby Lashley actually believed that Drew McIntyre was just going to stand there and let him grab some weapons without trying to retaliate.
right across the jaw. Beautiful.
What a devastating big boot to the air. The air was in so much pain that even Jimmy Smith said it was beautiful. Jeez, I know that kendo sticks are effective to use, but holy crap, I could do an entire bonus round of the many times we've seen kendo sticks being the cliched weapon of choice inside Hell in a Cell. Name me one Hell in a Cell match in the last 10 years that did not use a kendo stick at least once. There probably are a few, but I'm too lazy to go check myself.
Showing his power right now.
And this is why cameramen should just stay outside the cage. The awkwardness of trying to do something to your opponent, but having to squeeze yourself past the cameraman first. About 2 minutes of setting up tables. Go ahead, take all the time of the world. It's not like this is giving Bobby Lashley time to recover and counter you or anything, Drew. What MVP should really reconsider is giving Bobby Lashley instructions when Drew McIntyre is literally that close to him and he can hear the entire conversation.
Qualifications. Oh, whatever it takes.
Well, so much for Hell in a Cell being such a deadly cage that hurts with every hit against the walls, am I right?
Here's a couple steel chairs.
Wrestler throws a lot of chairs into the ring, most of which will come in handy for the opponent that's already in the ring cliche. Wrestler sticks a chair in between the top and middle rope in the corner, which will come in handy for the opponent that'll counter cliche.
Are you kidding me? Oh.
You boys had one job. One job!
Talent is on.
Probably did not give Drew McIntyre the win in this case because his name was sadly not Dave Bautista.
Perhaps.
Ouch, that looks brutal, but I guess Drew should be thankful that he was positioned right in the middle of the stairs, thus being completely safe from any sort of harm. We interrupt the 2021 edition of WWE Hell in a Cell to bring you the 2017 edition. Drew McIntyre only has that look of disgust on his face because Bobby Lashley forgot to take some breath mints after having that seafood dinner earlier. It's bad enough that these two failed to execute a move on the chairs already, but holy crap, that shot was super bad.
Face first.
Sorry guys, but when you fail to properly execute that move the first time, attempting it a second time doesn't make the move look any better, even if it worked. The referee gets knocked over at the crucial point in the match cliche, and ouch, that had to hurt when the chair landed on his poor head after he fell. Heel wrestler's manager sneaks into the cage after a second referee unlocks the door to officiate the match cliche. Saw that one coming a mile away. By this point, Drew McIntyre getting distracted by MVP is ultimately what cost him the WWE Championship. Just like at WrestleMania, it's Drew's own fault that he chose not to focus on the true task at hand. Okay, you know what? There are so many moves in this match that ends up missing their target completely. So many botches, here are 5 additional sins.
Out of it right now.
Even after Drew connected the Claymore kick to MVP, he figures the next thing to do is keep up the attack on the nearly unconscious MVP. Focus on Bobby Lashley, you stupid dumbass!